Yet instead of abandoning this harsh land, the Chinese took an unexpected approach. They began growing cotton. To grow crops in the desert, China relies on an entire system of specialized technology. High-powered tractors plow, level, and compact the loose sand into stable, straight rows, reducing sand drift by up to 70% and helping the soil retain moisture. After that, they lay down agricultural mulch film stretching for kilometers, a solution that can cut water evaporation by up to 90% and retain enough warmth for seeds to germinate. Thanks to the combination of heavy machinery and modern agricultural materials, the once shifting desert surface is transformed into ground stable enough for cultivation. Once the sand is compacted and covered with mulch, seeds are planted into small openings. A drip irrigation system immediately delivers precise amounts of water, helping the seeds germinate reliably amid the desert's extreme dryness. After months of enduring scorching winds, extreme temperature swings, and sandstorms capable of wiping out entire fields overnight, the desert cotton farms finally reach harvest season. From the now stabilized sandy ground, China moves on to the most critical phase, tech-driven harvesting. Bright red cotton harvesters, from Tianya machines to the John Deere CP690, advance in perfect formation like a mechanized army, sweeping across thousands of hectares. Each machine handles 10 to 12 tons of cotton per hour and compresses it into dense modules within minutes. With GPS, ground sensors, and automated control cabins, entire fields stretching tens of square kilometers require only 3 to 5 engineers to monitor everything remotely. Lacking the fertile land that the United States possesses, China has been forced to build its advantage through technology, turning deserts into industrial-scale agricultural production lines. It is precisely the harshness of nature that pushed them to develop a generation of powerful, highly precise machines, capable of transforming uncultivable land into one of the world's major cotton hubs. Leaving behind the white cotton fields of the harsh desert, we continue our journey to lush green rice paddies, where the power of machinery and automation is reshaping the way humans farm. For centuries, rice transplanting was one of the toughest tasks for Asian farmers. Bending over in flooded fields for hours, planting each seedling by hand, and managing to cover only a few hundred square meters per day. But today, everything has been completely transformed thanks to automatic rice transplanting technology. Modern rice transplanters like the one you see here operate as large-scale agricultural robots. At the front sits a platform holding dozens of seedling trays, while at the back, a system of mechanical arms continuously lifts, separates, and plants the seedlings into the field at a steady pace. Each machine can handle 1 to 2 hectares per hour, equivalent to the workload of 40 to 50 traditional laborers. RTK GPS technology allows the machine to move in perfectly straight lines, with a margin of error under 2 centimeters, ensuring nearly perfect spacing and density between each plant. Depth sensors automatically adjust the planting feet, so the seedlings are neither too deep nor too shallow. All of this happens while the operator simply sits in the cabin, monitoring the parameters through a digital display. As the rice grows and enters the tillering stage, technology once again takes over the farmer's labor. Automatic spraying drones follow GPS routes, dispersing ultrafine mist across entire hectares within minutes, protecting the rice evenly, quickly, and with almost no manual work required. And as the green rice seedlings grow taller, the paddies turn golden. Harvest season has arrived. Unlike wheat harvesters in the United States, which operate on dry, flat, and firm fields, rice harvesters must work under completely opposite conditions: deep mud, soft ground, low traction, and a high risk of getting stuck. That's why their technology is specially designed. Wide track rollers to distribute weight, automatic balancing systems to prevent tipping, and a cutting threshing mechanism that works reliably even when water reaches halfway up the wheels. A modern rice harvester can process 0.6 to 1.2 hectares per hour, replacing the labor of 20 to 30 workers. Inside, the threshing and fan system separates grain from straw within seconds, depositing the rice directly into sacks or sealed containers to minimize moisture. Thanks to sensors that monitor soil moisture and sinking, the machine automatically adjusts its speed to avoid damaging the remaining stalks. While wheat harvesters in the US run like steel trains across dry plains, in Asia, rice harvesters resemble mud-crawling machines, fine-tuned with precision for every movement. As a country warming at twice the global average, having recorded temperatures above 50 degrees Celsius in Xinjiang and experiencing extreme rainfall that forces millions to evacuate each year, China has been pushed to accelerate greenhouse agriculture to safeguard its food security. In modern greenhouse complexes, vegetable production operates like a clean food factory. Seeds are dispersed by vibration machines with less than 1% error, incubated in perfectly climate-controlled chambers, and then transferred into the main greenhouse. Here, high-pressure misting systems maintain stable humidity, LED lights adjust to each growth stage to boost development by 20 to 30%, and robots continuously move trays to optimize light exposure and airflow. All data, from leaf color to growth rate, is analyzed by AI, which automatically fine-tunes environmental settings by the hour. The vegetables grow in conditions so clean that pesticides are almost unnecessary and contamination risks are virtually non-existent. When harvest time comes, robots pull the trays into a sealed processing area where the produce is washed, sorted, and packaged immediately. The entire journey from seed to table remains within a fully controlled technological chain, reflecting the advancement of Chinese agriculture amid an era of harsh climate conditions. While this model delivers consistent, year-round, and safe produce, its cost is 1.5 to 3 times higher than traditional farming, forcing older cultivation methods to evolve or risk being left behind. Under the pressure of harsh climate conditions and a surging demand for clean food, China is not only building vegetable factories inside greenhouses, but also deploying robots directly into the fields, replacing labor-intensive, sweat-driven tasks with precise, fully automated systems. Apple harvesting has long been an extremely labor-consuming job, picking each fruit by hand, risking bruised skins, and requiring hundreds of labor hours for just 1 hectare. That pressure has driven many orchards to adopt apple-picking robots, machines that precisely replicate the delicate movements of human hands, but at far greater speed. Equipped with 3D cameras, ripeness sensors, and AI recognition, these robots can identify each apple in a fraction of a second. Their silicone grippers perform a gentle twist-pull-detach motion, allowing them to harvest 1,200 to 1,500 apples per hour, 4 to 6 times faster than manual labor. Once picked, the apples are immediately transferred onto conveyor systems for automatic size grading. With the ability to operate around the clock, apple-picking robots are transforming orchards spanning hundreds of hectares into nearly fully automated harvesting lines. The hills of Zhejiang and Anhui have long been the cradle of China's finest teas, but traditional tea picking is full of risks. Clinging to slippery slopes, performing meticulous hand movements for hours, and facing a growing shortage of young labor. These challenges have driven the rise of tea-picking robots. These machines use high-resolution cameras combined with AI to identify individual tea buds in fractions of a second, distinguishing young leaves from mature ones with an error margin of less than 5%. Their mechanical arms are equipped with micro-vibrating cutting blades that mimic the skilled pinch and pluck motion of experienced pickers, ensuring the tea buds retain their shape and freshness. Each robot can handle the workload of 20 to 30 workers and can operate continuously even on terrain that is difficult for humans to access. As a result, traditional tea hills are gradually transforming into high-tech, highly precise harvesting systems, consistent, stable, and surprisingly efficient. Known as the nutrient reserve of the cold season, cabbage is one of China's key vegetable crops. And while many European fields still rely on manual labor, Chinese farms have taken a completely different path, harvesting with machines as if operating an industrial production line. Cabbage harvesting is notoriously labor-intensive. Each head must be cut by hand, requiring thousands of repeated bends and lifting tens of kilograms every hour. This difficulty has made cabbage harvesters the inevitable solution. These machines use high-speed hydraulic blades to cleanly slice each cabbage in a single motion, then lift it onto a moving conveyor, where an automated trimming system removes old outer leaves on the way up. From field to storage bin, the entire process runs seamlessly without a single human hand involved. Each machine can harvest 8 to 12 tons of cabbage per hour, tens of times faster than manual labor. With ripeness sensors, anti-sink systems, and self-balancing controls, the harvester moves smoothly across soft soil, transforming the entire field into an industrial-scale harvesting line where speed, quality, and precision are maintained down to every meter of land. When people think of blueberries, they usually think of Europe. But in China, this fruit is entering a new era: large-scale cultivation, high-value wine production, and fully mechanized harvesting. For years, blueberries were a harvesting nightmare for Chinese farmers. Tiny fruits, easily bruised, picked one by one, and requiring hundreds of labor hours per hectare. As processing demand surged, manual harvesting quickly became the biggest bottleneck. This led to the rise of specialized harvesting machines. Instead of relying on human hands, these machines use high-frequency vibrating rods to detach ripe berries from the branches, tuned precisely so they don't damage the plants. The falling berries are caught by soft catch plates and then transferred directly onto conveyors for preliminary sorting. Thanks to this mechanism, the berries remain almost entirely unbruised, preserving their quality for processing. A single harvester can handle dozens of tons per day, replacing the work of an entire labor crew. Equipped with sensors and navigation systems, the machines move accurately between each row, operating continuously like an outdoor production line. As a result, vast blueberry orchards can be harvested faster, cleaner, and with greater uniformity, meeting the standards for both fresh consumption and premium blueberry wine production. Modern silkworm farming and silk production today represent a true revolution, far beyond the traditional, manual methods that existed for thousands of years. This dramatic transformation has paved the way for silkworms to be raised and processed industrially on a large scale across many countries, especially China, which dominates 70% of global raw silk production, amounting to nearly 60,000 tons per year. Though its appearance might be frightening to some, the silkworm creates something more precious than gold. With farms that can span tens of thousands of square meters, and they continue to expand in scale. So what is it that has kept silk so irresistibly captivating for millennia? Silk threads spun by the most common silkworm species, Bombyx mori, light as breath yet stronger than steel by weight, are the crystallization of an exceptionally intricate natural protein structure. made of a strong fibroin core tightly bound by a protective sericin layer. This dual protein architecture gives silk its unmatched combination of strength, softness, and natural sheen, a marvel that humans have yet to replicate artificially. As a timeless symbol of elegance, skillfully connecting Eastern and Western cultures, mulberry silk carries profound historical and artistic value and is celebrated today in haute couture collections worth hundreds of thousands of dollars from luxury fashion houses such as Hermès, Dior, Valentino, and Elie Saab. And the journey of the world's most luxurious silk begins with the simplest of things: silkworm eggs, more delicate than specks of dust. If not killed for silk reeling, then after about 9 to 10 days inside specially selected cocoons, the pupae will emerge as adult moths and be ready to reproduce within just 2 to 4 hours. Importantly, silkworms are extremely sensitive, so this process must take place in individual trays or mesh enclosures, under soft lighting and in a quiet environment to ensure optimal results. Over thousands of years of domestication, the moth has lost its ability to fly due to its shrunken wings, weak chest muscles, and overly heavy body. That is how we have designed the silkworm to produce silk for its entire life. Over the next 24 to 48 hours, each female moth can continuously lay between 300 and 500 eggs. These tiny eggs gradually change color from pale yellow to gray, a clear sign of successful fertilization. After being carefully collected and cold stored, only the highest quality eggs are transferred to incubation chambers, where ideal conditions of 24-25 degrees Celsius and 80 to 85% humidity are maintained to trigger hatching. Then, following a patient wait of around 10 days, tiny silkworm larvae begin to emerge, marking the start of a life journey that is both fragile and extraordinary. In the early stage rearing phase, newly hatched silkworms are transferred into flat trays at a density of approximately 1,500 to 2,000 larvae per square meter, where they are carefully incubated for 4 to 5 days to help them adapt to their new environment. At this stage, the tiny creatures are fed nutrient-rich mulberry leaf cakes using automated spreaders. They feed continuously, day and night, growing rapidly with each passing day, much like popcorn kernels bursting in a hot pan. To keep pace with this explosive development, they undergo 2 molting cycles, a vital process that allows their skin to shed and stretch, making room for swift growth before entering the main rearing stage. As they complete these crucial early stages, the silkworms are then ready to move into the main rearing phase, where their growth accelerates and their care intensifies. To prepare for the maturation phase, the silkworm's diet changes significantly. Every early morning, farmers head to the mulberry gardens to harvest fresh leaves, especially those from the middle to lower parts of the branches, where the nutrient levels are best suited for growing silkworms. An interesting fact: silkworms do not drink water throughout their entire life cycle. That's why ensuring the leaves are completely dry before feeding is an essential step in professional silkworm farming. If the leaves are still wet with dew or moisture, they can cause bloating, disease, or even mass mortality among the silkworms. Now, feeding the silkworms becomes a race against time, as the appetite of billions surges dramatically. In the most modern farms, they are raised on floors spanning tens of thousands of square meters, providing spacious environments for optimal growth. Instead of finely chopped tender leaves, silkworms now require larger, more mature mulberry leaves to satisfy their increasing hunger. They are fed fresh leaves 5 to 6 times a day, carefully spread out to ensure even distribution, not only to promote efficient feeding, but also to reduce stress and overcrowding, which could lead to suffocation. An indispensable factor during this period is the application of lime to sterilize the environment by killing harmful bacteria and fungi, reducing the risk of disease, while also helping to maintain a balanced pH level. During this final feeding period, which lasts around 10 to 12 days, the silkworms undergo 2 additional molts to keep up with their rapid growth. At this stage, feeding is no longer a simple task. It becomes a delicate symphony between nature and precision, all in preparation for the next phase, spinning their precious golden cocoons. When silkworms show signs of a translucent abdomen and reduced appetite, farmers, relying on their experience, gradually lower the hanging frame system made of straw, bamboo, or plastic closer to the ground. From there, among billions of tiny compartments, these gentle creatures instinctively find their favorite spots to settle and spin their cocoons. Thanks to a sophisticated silk gland system, much like that of spiders, the silkworm spins by rhythmically moving its head in a figure-8 pattern, producing thousands of loops of filament that can stretch over 1,000 meters. Within just 2 to 3 days, it forms a cocoon, both a safe haven and a precious treasure for the silk industry. So what truly happens inside this mysterious cocoon? Over the next 7 to 10 days after completing its cocoon, the silkworm lies still and silently transforms into a pupa, a crucial metamorphosis preparing it for the next stage in its extraordinary life cycle. While waiting for Bombyx mori silkworms to spin their cocoons, there's another remarkable species you may have never heard of, the Tussa silkworm. Renowned for its wild silk threads that are 2 to 3 times stronger than those of its domesticated cousin. Moths harvested from the previous season are stored in hundreds of separate cages, ensuring stable environmental conditions to maintain their health and reproductive ability. They are then evenly released onto hanging racks inside the rearing cages, where they have space to fly freely and mate naturally. After about 3 to 5 days, an important technique involves farmers gently shaking the racks with sticks to dislodge pollen, stimulating more effective mating and increasing egg fertilization rates. Unlike cultivated silkworms that feed exclusively on mulberry leaves, Tussa silkworm eggs hatch into larvae that are raised to maturity on oak, elm, or wild apple leaves. A defining difference is that Tussa silkworms are usually allowed to complete their life cycle and emerge as moths, ensuring genetic diversity and supporting long-term sustainability rather than prioritizing silk yield alone. Thanks to its rich texture, natural golden hue, and ethical appeal, premium wild Tussa silk is typically reserved for luxury fashion or bespoke works of art, with some final creations commanding prices in the millions. After days of hard work and patient waiting, it's finally time for farmers to reap the rewards of their labor. In the past, silkworm cocoons were harvested entirely by hand. Farmers would skillfully pluck each cocoon from the bamboo frames using their fingers. While this manual method was simple and low cost, it was extremely time-consuming when dealing with tens of thousands of cocoons in a single batch. That's why, with the rise of industrial-scale sericulture, the demand for higher efficiency and reduced labor led to the development of mechanical aids. Today, semi-automatic hand-operated machines and fully automated cocoon harvesters are widely used, increasing harvesting speed by 5 to 10 times compared to manual methods, minimizing loss, and ensuring uniform cocoon quality. This marks a crucial transformation that helps modernize the silk industry and expand its reach to global markets. And from here, the fate of each cocoon and the silkworm pupa inside takes one of 2 paths. A fortunate few will continue their life cycle, emerging as moths to produce eggs for the next season. The rest are sent to the factory, where their golden threads are transformed into luxurious silk. When thousands of tons of cocoons arrive at the factory, the transformation into silk begins with the sorting stage. Skilled workers carefully examine each cocoon, selecting them based on criteria such as size, weight, uniformity, and shell thickness. Only the highest quality cocoons are chosen for premium silk production, ensuring the final product meets the finest standards of texture and craftsmanship. Next comes a critical step to prevent the silkworm from developing into a moth and breaking the cocoon. This is done by exposing the live cocoons to high temperatures through methods such as steam treatment, hot air drying, or immersion in hot water. This process not only halts metamorphosis, but also sterilizes the cocoons and preserves the unbroken structure of the silk filaments, ensuring longer shelf life and superior thread quality. But that alone isn't enough to soften the saracen, the natural protein that acts as glue, binding the silk fibers together. So after the pupae are removed, the cocoons are gently warmed in hot water at around 60 to 90 degrees Celsius. Now, the heart of the entire process begins to beat, as the softened cocoons enter the mesmerizing silk reeling stage. If you look closely, you'll notice the rotating brushes gently swirling in hot water, not only to loosen the outer saracen layer, but also to skillfully locate the silk filament's end, finer than a strand of hair. As soon as the brushes uncover and separate this delicate tip from the cocoon, a sharp-eyed worker quickly identifies it and carefully guides it into the reeling machine. From there, shimmering strands flow like a silver stream, each formed by combining threads from 5 to 10 cocoons and wound evenly onto spools. Though a single cocoon can yield up to 1,000 meters of silk, it takes between 2,500 to 3,000 cocoons to produce just half a kilogram of raw silk, the precious material behind the world's finest silks. Once the raw silk threads are drawn, they move on to the twisting stage, where multiple fine filaments are gently spun together to enhance their strength, consistency, and suitability for weaving. This is also the moment when skilled artisans can blend different silk types to create unique textures, desired thicknesses, or subtle variations in color and sheen. Interestingly, the twisting density of silk is entirely different from that of wool or alpaca fiber. Animal fibers, being shorter and more fragile, require a tighter twist to ensure durability. In contrast, silk filaments are naturally long, smooth, and lustrous, needing only a gentle twist to preserve their signature drape, softness, and shimmer. This delicate balance gives each silk thread a soul of its own, shaping not only the texture, but also the emotion and elegance of the fabric it will soon become. However, to truly reach their full potential, the freshly spun silk threads must undergo a special transformation, the degumming process. This is done by soaking the twisted threads in warm water mixed with a mild, alkaline solution. As the saracen slowly dissolves, what remains is the pure essence of silk, lighter, softer, and unbelievably smooth. In that very moment, the thread awakens, no longer raw fiber, but a living material ready to become something magical. Before being placed on the loom, premium silk threads undergo a special step, yarn dyeing, a moment when artisans breathe soul into each living strand of silk. Each bundle of silk is soaked in a dye bath for 4 to 6 hours, where natural colorants, extracted from indigo leaves, pomegranate rinds, rosewood, or sappanwood roots, seep deep into the fibers. This traditional yarn dyeing technique forms the foundation for intricate woven patterns, such as ikat or brocade. Meanwhile, for solid colored silks or hand-painted fabrics, the entire cloth is dyed after weaving, creating flowing layers of color that blend harmoniously, soft and fluid like water. After the dyeing process, the premium silk threads are ready to enter their final stage, weaving. Depending on the intended use and local traditions, the silk may be woven on traditional handlooms or modern industrial machines. Regardless of the method, this is the moment when thousands of threads move rhythmically, crisscrossing, undulating, flowing with softness yet precision, to form smooth, lustrous sheets of silk. Each woven fabric is no longer just a material. It is a living artwork, ready to become garments, art pieces, or one-of-a-kind handcrafted masterpieces. Once synonymous with danger and dread in the wild, snakes today are not only seen as life-restoring medicine for countless people, but also serve as a golden link in the global meat and luxury fashion industries, generating billions of dollars. So how do humans manage to farm, care for, and process millions of snakes every year? This mysterious journey begins in quiet, rural snake farms, where snakes are raised with closely guarded techniques and the practical experience of seasoned farmers. At the right time, they are harvested, transported, and brought to modern processing facilities, where their meat, skin, and venom become valuable raw materials for the world's most powerful industries. Today, join Agriculture Insight as we trace the mysterious path of snake farming and explain why they now stand at the center of the global economic picture. Right now, let's explore these most dangerous reptiles. With just 0.5 grams of king cobra venom, more than 100 adult humans can be killed. A snake that has instilled fear in both nature and humans for thousands of years. Despite this, surpassing agricultural powerhouses like the United States, Brazil, and India, China not only dominates the world in total agricultural output value, but has also become the global center for domestication of this creature into a profitable industry, with over 600 farms supplying around 80% of the increasingly sought-after commercial snake market. Surprisingly, this surging demand has sparked a frenzy in Australia, where around 3.5 million snakes are raised annually for their skins, serving the global luxury fashion industry worth an estimated $12 billion USD, with iconic brands like Hermes, Gucci, and Prada. What factors are fueling this booming global fascination for snake farming? Unlike conventional livestock such as beef, chicken, or pork, snake meat stands out with its uniquely delicate flavor, high protein content, low cholesterol, and is considered a premium delicacy in Asian culinary culture. Even more notably, snakes are used to make whole-body infused wines, a type of liquor believed to nourish health, boost vitality, and enhance sexual function for those suffering from sexual dysfunction. Alongside meat and skin, snake venom has become a highly valuable resource, with horse-derived serum enabling leading research centers in the United States, Brazil, Mexico, and Thailand to develop life-saving antivenoms that protect millions of lives. Hidden within the small village of Zixiqiao, renowned in Zhejiang Province, China, and famously known as the Snake Village, approximately 800 households have transformed traditional snake farming into a vast industry. Covering less than 20 square kilometers and housing over 3 million snakes annually, this place stands as a unique crossroads between ancient tradition and modern technology, revealing the astonishing processes of the global snake farming industry. Everything begins with the breeding process, where farmers select healthy individuals, pair them at optimal ratios, and release them into communal enclosures to initiate reproduction. A unique feature of snakes is that males possess two reproductive organs called hemipenes, located on the underside near the tail. During mating, The male alternates between these two hemipenes to engage the female's cloaca for durations ranging from 20 to 120 minutes. Far superior to humans, aren't they? After a successful mating process, the female snake enters a gestation period lasting from 1 to 2 months, depending on commonly farmed industrial species, such as king cobras, rat snakes, and cobras. This is an extremely sensitive and aggressive phase for the mother snake, requiring a quiet setting, stable temperature, and high humidity to ensure proper egg development. Each clutch of snakes typically contains between 10 and 40 eggs. Like pythons, snake eggs are oval and elongated with thin, soft, slightly rubbery shells that often stick together, distinctly different from crocodile eggs, which have hard and brittle shells. Due to their unique biological instincts, after laying eggs, mother snakes typically do not care for their eggs or offspring. Therefore, breeders must collect the eggs a few hours after laying to transfer them to artificial incubation if they want a healthy next generation. Harvesting eggs is not an easy task, as mother snakes can attack the handler at any time. For docile mothers who rarely react to human presence, breeders can use a small hook to gently scoop each egg from the nest onto a tray without needing to move the snake. However, for aggressive mother snakes or those with strong nest-guarding instincts, egg collection becomes more dangerous, requiring deep understanding of the species' behavior. The golden rule for success during this stage is to keep the mother snake feeling as safe and unthreatened as possible. Therefore, breeders must skillfully lure the female snake out of the enclosure with a hook before carefully collecting the eggs. Every action must be swift, precise, and gentle to ensure safety, prevent egg breakage, and minimize stress for the snake. Once the eggs are removed, the mother snake is returned to her enclosure to continue her life cycle, while the eggs are taken to a specialized incubation room for thorough inspection and care. The ideal temperature is maintained between 28 to 32 degrees Celsius, with humidity around 80 to 90%, creating optimal conditions for uniform embryo development. After approximately 50 to 70 days, the thin, soft shells begin to crack, revealing tiny newborns with their first calls. Immediately after hatching, baby snakes are moved to a separate care area. Interestingly, during the first few days, they do not need to eat, as they rely on the yolk sac remaining inside their bodies for nutrition. Now, the next task for the farmers is to satisfy the hunger of millions of ravenous snakes, each one a demanding eater with a diet unlike any other farm animal. After their first shed, usually occurring between 5 and 10 days, they begin their first feedings, typically on small prey such as pinky mice or finely ground feed. This stage is extremely sensitive, requiring breeders to closely monitor each individual to ensure the highest survival rate, which directly impacts the quality of future generations throughout all subsequent processes. For ravenous danger noodles that are weak or fussy eaters, breeders often isolate them for closer monitoring and use methods such as scenting the prey, offering live feed, or gently assisting with feeding to stimulate appetite and improve survival chances. When snakes grow bigger and stronger, usually between 1 to 2 months old after hatching, they are transferred to separate enclosures to facilitate care, management, and size-based classification. To raise a healthy and uniformly growing clutch of snakes that meet commercial standards, diet is the key factor. Compared to their vulnerable early stage, adult snakes require higher protein intake, larger prey sizes, and feeding cycles adjusted flexibly according to each individual's growth rate. Among their favorite foods, especially for king cobras, is quail, An adult king cobra can consume between 0.3 to 0.5 kilograms of quail meat daily, depending on its weight and health status. Breeders typically prepare live quail, remove feathers, and may add digestive enzymes to aid the snake's digestion. Providing clean, fresh feed in appropriate portions is the secret to faster growth and minimizing risks of digestive disorders or mass refusal to eat. The breeder divides the prey into small dishes and places them throughout the snake enclosure, simulating a natural environment to help the snakes easily access and stimulate their hunting instincts. This is also when the snakes can freely choose their preferred prey during their buffet-style feeding. Throughout the entire rearing process, negligence when handling these cold-blooded reptiles can lead to serious consequences, even posing life-threatening dangers. After patiently waiting for about 12 to 18 months, it's time for the farmer to reap the rewards. The breeder goes to each enclosure using specialized hooks or locking rings to quickly restrain the snakes, then gently places them into transport containers lined with fabric bags or mesh sacks to secure them. One thing you might find strange is that after harvesting, the snakes' mouths are often sewn shut with thread or specialized materials to prevent biting. Despite the high risks, this is a necessary job for many to make a living, and those performing it can be bitten multiple times a day if they lack extensive experience. Have you ever been bitten by a snake? Feel free to share your experience in the comments below. Finally, millions of snakes that meet quality standards are transported to specialty restaurants or processing facilities, moving closer to their final mission. First, we will explore the process of producing snake wine, one of the renowned specialties of the Guangxi region in China, as well as the mountainous areas of Vietnam and Thailand, with a commercial value reaching up to 10 million USD annually. The ingredients typically include whole snakes that have been thoroughly cleaned, or separate parts such as the head, gallbladder, and spine. The snakes are then placed into jars filled with rice wine at an alcohol concentration of around 40% to 50%, allowing the infusion process to extract medicinal compounds such as peptides, enzymes, amino acids, and bioactive proteins. According to traditional beliefs, soaking live snakes is thought to enhance the medicinal value of the wine due to the natural compounds released during the process. The special thing about snake wine is that the longer it is aged, the more valuable it becomes. After aging for about 3 to 5 years, its price can reach thousands of dollars per bottle. While scientific research has yet to fully confirm its effects, it is widely reputed for its ability to nourish health, boost vitality, and treat certain conditions such as sexual dysfunction, joint pain, and chronic fatigue. Besides that, snake meat is also extensively utilized by humans as a high-protein, low-fat food ingredient and has long been featured in traditional medicine. The processing begins with basic steps, removing the skin and internal organs, retaining the firm, white, tender, and low-fat meat. Then, the meat is cut into chunks or thin slices depending on the intended use or market requirements. But the value of snakes doesn't stop there. Snake skin is a crucial component that generates significant profits, thanks to its uniqueness, rarity, and steady demand in the luxury fashion market. The first step in the snake skin processing is to anesthetize or immobilize the snake, after which workers carefully peel off the skin entirely by hand. This process demands patience, precision, and steady hand pressure. Just one slip can tear the skin, cause scale loss, or damage the pattern, which are critical factors in determining the final product's value. After being thoroughly cleaned of blood and mucus, The skin is salted for about 12 to 24 hours to preserve it and prepare it for the tanning process. Following tanning, the snake skin is stretched onto frames to flatten and shape it properly, ensuring a smooth surface for further processing. Next, snake skins are taken out of the conditioning oil baths and carefully spread on glass panels or flat tables. Skilled artisans use rubber squeegees to evenly distribute the oil, remove air bubbles, and press the oil deep into the fibers. Then the skins rest for 6 to 12 hours to allow full absorption and surface stabilization before final finishing. Delving further into the core of the process, after dyeing, skilled artisans employ high-speed polishing wheels, spinning between 1500 and 3000 RPM, to carefully buff the surface of the snakeskin, accentuating the distinct scale patterns and producing a natural shine. Following polishing, the snakeskins move through an automated spraying system that applies a uniform protective layer, enhancing gloss, locking in color stability, and safeguarding the surface, readying the skins for final inspection and export. It's no coincidence that fashion houses like Gucci, Hermès, and Versace favor this material. Snakeskin is not only lightweight, durable, and flexible, but also features unique patterns, each piece a natural fingerprint that cannot be duplicated, making it ideal for handcrafted luxury products valued at hundreds of thousands of dollars. That is not the end of the value chain. Venom extraction, the most valuable product from snakes, has transformed a once deadly substance into a vital component of life-saving medicines and advanced medical therapies. The process begins with a seemingly simple yet inherently dangerous step: milking the snake for venom. Each snake selected for milking must meet strict criteria. It must not be shedding, not stressed, and fully recovered from the previous milking. Technicians use specialized tools to clamp the snake's head, then gently press its neck down on a table for control. As a defensive reflex, the snake bites through the rubber membrane, causing venom to drip into the vial. This clear liquid, sometimes with a golden or pale green tint, is the raw material for the billion-dollar anti-venom industry. Although only about 10 to 30 milligrams of venom is collected per session, just 5 milligrams of cobra venom can be fatal to an adult if not treated promptly. Immediately after collection, the venom is rapidly frozen or lyophilized to preserve its biological activity, as the enzymes in venom are extremely sensitive to temperature and light. Any slight mishandling can render the entire batch worthless. After collection, the venom is diluted and injected in increasing doses into large animals, such as horses, to stimulate the immune system to produce specific antibodies against the toxins. This process lasts from several weeks to months, with each injection carefully monitored to ensure the horse is not overwhelmed by the toxin. Once the antibody levels in the blood reach the required threshold, the horse's blood is drawn and centrifuged to separate the serum. The antibody-containing serum is then filtered, purified, and tested before being packaged